Good everybody, welcome to the SUNY EOP WebEx. I'm glad that you've all joined us. Looks like we have fixed our minor technical problem and we're able to go ahead and get started. I hope that everybody can hear me effectively and can see our slides on screen, as well as our two amazing stars here who will be introducing themselves in just a moment. Again, hoping that you're getting good audio. If you're not, please let us know. So we do have someone who indicates that they can't hear anything yet. Having technical issues, I am just going to make a note here in our chat about technical issues. You would need to call in. Okay, I'm just in our chat as a reminder. All right, so we're going to go ahead and proceed. Again, if you're having some technical difficulties along the way, you may just want to do a restart or disconnect and reconnect to the presentation. But welcome. Thanks so much for taking time to be with us tonight. I'm going to give you some really important information about EOP at SUNY Plattsburgh, and we're also going to make sure to leave lots of time for you to ask questions about our application process, SUNY Plattsburgh, and EOP. So as you can see on the first slide, tonight we're really here to talk about how EOP gets high school students from now to the next phase of your life, and that is attending college. I'm the director of EOP. My name is Kelly Relaford. I work with applicants and current EOP students. My job, and I'm really excited to give you information about the program tonight. I have two guests with me tonight. They represent both alumni, current staff, as well as current students. So I'll let them quickly introduce themselves. So guests, go tell us who you are.
Okay. So my name is Isabel Garcia. I am a junior, coming senior next semester for the EOP program here at Pratt. And also the transfer representative for the EOP Student Association. And my sociology with a minor in criminal justice, and I'm from the Bronx. So great. Yeah.
I'm Joseph. I'm an EOP alum, class of 2010. I work here in admissions. I am also from the Caribbean originally. So that's where I represent.
Excited to have these two really important perspectives to share, in addition to things that I'm able to share with you from an administrative perspective and a counselor perspective, because I do work with students in our office as an EOP counselor as well. So we'll go ahead and get started. Okay. So to begin, many of you are familiar with EOP. Some of you might not be familiar with EOP and the actual services we provide. So I'll give a general overview. This is really a wonderfully simplified explanation of what EOP really is. So first, EOP is a college access program. We're in the business of providing opportunities for higher education. And access is important to all EOP programs. It's important across the state because of the demand for our programs and for access to higher ed. But our program is designed specifically to provide access to New York State residents who do not meet traditional admissions criteria. So students who think that college is just inaccessible to them for academic reasons, EOP is sometimes a wonderful option. So we're looking at students who have high school averages ranging from a minimum of 75 to generally a maximum of about 84. And the high school average range does vary somewhat based on the major that you would like to enter during the admissions process. So in some cases, we will review students with a higher GPA. They're applying to special programs like nursing or social work. Programs have different benchmarks for admission. Our SAT minimum, the old SAT score would be a 750 combined. The new exam, you would need at least an 840 combined score. In addition, we require all applicants to have at least one letter of recommendation, and we have financial eligibility guidelines, which we'll talk a little bit more in just a moment. Beyond access, we also provide academic support and programming because our program is designed to get students into college, but also to help students to graduate. Those programs include things like Pre-Freshman Summer Institute, which is a requirement for all students who enter SUNY Plattsburgh through EOP. It's a 4-week pre-college summer bridge program, and at SUNY Plattsburgh that is required. We also provide academic advising, tutorial services. We provide services when students are at risk, and we also provide personal counseling and financial support. So we are, again, here not just to provide access to college, but we're here to help students get to the finish line and to graduate with their degrees. Another important component of who we are and what we are is the EOP family. And you'll find at SUNY Plattsburgh's EOP is that we have a smaller scale family feel. Our program has a total of 275 students enrolled in it. Our students know each other, we know our students, and we aim to provide a home away from home for our students. Most of the students through EOP are coming to us from New York City, which is approximately 5 to 5.5 hours from New York. So again, it's pretty vital that we provide a home away from home, and we help students to develop really important lifelong relationships with each other, with our staff, with staff on campus, and we want to make sure that students feel that they're part of a community that's focused on integrity and respect, kindness, curiosity, and perseverance. So itself, can you talk a little bit about the EOP family piece and, how does it feel to be so far away from your family when you're here at SUNY Plattsburgh?
When I was in schools, I was definitely not on my radar. I had no idea what so you're just looking at SUNY schools that are, some people just want to get away from the city, and that was one of my intentions. That's why I chose Plattsburgh. By the luck of the draw, I fell in love with SUNY Plattsburgh, the program. When I attended, it was an amazing experience. Felt the community, as Kyle was talking about, from day one. And after the summer program, I'm excited to come back in the fall. I was counting the days down. And then once I got back on campus, all our EOP students just welcomed us so warmly. It's a great experience. And that's just one of the different reasons that EOP Plattsburgh is just a different place from all the other programs in SUNY.
Well, honestly speaking, but at first, I didn't participate in the Summer Institute because I was a transfer EOP. So when you there's like different requirements and stuff like that. So I didn't get to participate in that. But once I did come up here, I got welcomed. They were like, "Oh, you're EOP. Your EOP is fam," and it sticks throughout the whole time. Even now, like I have freshmen that I know, and they're like, "Yo, just know EOP is family," and just because so far away from home, that really sets attitude towards the school. You feel so welcomed, and it's just amazing, honestly, that you could have away from home from like 6 hours away, honestly. This is great.
Thank you, Betty. And I'm glad to hear that we're doing that for students because it's something that we value greatly. And it's a key part of our program, and it's a key part of supporting people through to the finish line of graduation. In addition, a few other pieces that you'll want to know. Our program is proactive, it's contractual, and it's effective. EOP Plattsburgh is not a passive support program. If you are accepted to SUNY Plattsburgh through EOP, you will be required to sign an educational contract, which includes things like agree to utilize our services to maintain your EOP status and all of the benefits that are associated with that. And, you know, engaging in the program, signing an educational contract is really designed to create the best case scenario for student success. So students who fully engage in EOP are students who succeed and graduate, and that's, again, what we're really aiming for as we work with students. It's important to know that the EOP at SUNY Plattsburgh does require an educational contract, and a key component is that you utilize our services and our staff. Itzel, can you speak a bit about, you know, using the services in the office, meeting with an EOP advisor? Do you know that that's helpful, important?
So it comes down to your schedule. Honestly speaking, the only person that will ever make time out of their whole busy day is an EOP counselor. You came in crying, like bawling your eyes out, like I don't know what to do, and they honestly set you in the wrath. I remember last semester was there was every college student has that phase, and they just get tired and they exhausted, and he always is to get you back, like, yo, remember, you got to remember what you came here for, and you're not leaving without it, so you might as well do the best of it while you can. And I mean, it set me in. I'm about to be a senior next semester, so I feel like the services do actually work. And I have students from my previous high school that they have come up here to the thing, and they're off into master's programs, and it's like that's just what it is. It honestly works.
We really are looking for students who want our services. We don't want to have to fight with people to utilize EOP. We want people to come into our program who understand the value of the program and who understand that they're part of a bigger legacy and a bigger mission, and that is to educate the state of New York, all levels of people in the state of New York, and who really value what we are providing. So if you're really interested in these types of services, if you're interested in access and support, EOP is the type of program for you. Application process, and this is kind of where everybody is right now with EOP. Most people who are interested are applicants. Step one is easy. You submit an application either through SUNY or the Common App. On the SUNY application, you be sure to indicate that you are interested in EOP. If you forget to do that, or you're doing Common App and you forget to indicate interest in EOP, you can always contact campuses, and that includes Plattsburgh, to let us know that you're interested in being reviewed for EOP, and we may be able to accommodate that. The second step is the academic review. So we ask for any financial materials at SUNY Plattsburgh until you know that you qualify academically for EOP. And we establish your academic eligibility by reviewing your high school transcript, SAT or ACT scores, your letter of recommendation, and if you've done the SUNY app, your SUNY supplemental. So in order for us to move any further with your application, we have to have those things on file. If you're a current applicant and you are kind of scratching your head saying, you know, I haven't received any requests for financial information, it probably means that you're stuck in the academic review process and may be missing an important academic document. So please be sure to reach out to our admissions office or to EOP to check your status. Once academic eligibility review is done and we've determined that you're EOP eligible, we move on to a financial eligibility review. And that's really kind of a two-step process. First is completing an online statement of family income form, which is not the FAFSA, a different form, and you need to submit hard copy verifying documents. We'll talk a little bit about the SOFI quickly. The SOFI is, or the Statement of Family Income Form, helps us to determine your household size and your household income. Those are the two factors that determine whether or not you're eligible financially for EOP. The SOFI is a one-time document. You won't submit it again, even if you're accepted to SUNY Plattsburgh through EOP. But we do check eligibility every year. moving forward, we would use the FSPA for continuing EOP students. To complete your SOFI, there's a few key pieces of information that you'll need to have available if you're going to complete an online statement of family income form. You want to make sure you know who's living in your household, wage information for everyone in your household. You need some tax information, and you'll need to know if you're getting support from non-taxable sources like SNAP benefits, free school lunch, or Social Security. So you talk with a parent or guardian if you are a dependent student. If you're an independent student, you'll also need to provide information about wages and non-taxables that you receive yourself. You'll also need asset information about property your parents may own, rental properties, or business income. Access that online SOFI through your Plattsburgh portal once you receive the request to do so. I'm in a few screens from the SOFI, and it's not very pretty, but it's effective. And if you read it carefully, you should be able to provide relatively easily all the information that we need. Ask about your residency, and information about your household, who lives in your household, who's earning income, asset information, non-taxable sources. You'll also see that we request some autobiographical information. We ask 3 questions. You'll see that they begin here at the bottom. I'll show the other 2. It's vital that you answer those questions to the best of your ability. I read those carefully in my final review of applicants. So if you choose not to answer those questions, it doesn't help your application. Okay, so be sure to answer those questions carefully. So these are screenshots of the SOFI, and it's not a fancy online form, but it's very straightforward, and it's a necessary part of our process. So when done with the SOFI, wait 24 hours, log back into your My Plattsburgh account, and we actually generate for you a customized list of hard copy verifying documents. So something that takes place before you get accepted to SUNY Plattsburgh allows us to verify your financial eligibility for EOP and your admission through EOP. Once your customized list of hard copy verifying documents, you'll submit those to us, and we'll start our final review. Next steps. This is a list of potential documents that we'll request. You may not need to submit all these or any of these, depending on your SOFI responses. Again, your list will be a customized list. But these are some examples of things we might request: tax returns, verification of non-filing, birth certificates for people who may not appear on a tax return in your household. So there's a variety of documents we may request from you, but these are some of the examples of those documents. To be financially eligible for EOP, the next step is a final total review. Your file will come to my office, and we'll review everything that's in your file, including your supplemental essays through SUNY or Common App, and any additional material that you've provided, letters of recommendation, answers to autobiographical questions. And you'll typically be asked to provide a telephone interview with me before a final decision is made. And once that's complete, a final decision is rendered, and if you're accepted to SUNY Plattsburgh, you'll get a wonderful "You Got In" folder in the mail, and you'll be able to sign your contract and look forward to our summer program. So those are the broad strokes of EOP. I want to leave things kind of open for some questions, and again, Joy and Ed Seller here as well to answer questions about campus life, EOP. So please, at this point, we're going to open up for questions. I see one already, and the question is, do we complete the SOFI once we get accepted to Plattsburgh? Just a reminder, the SOFI is done prior to a final admission decision being made, so it's part of the eligibility process, review process. So the SOFI needs to be completed before I can render a final decision. with some more questions, and we are happy to answer questions about EOP, SUNY classwork in general, campus life. Let us know what your questions are.
I talk about the application process that Kyle mentioned. Sections. It's streamlined, and as she indicated, academic review, financial review, and it's the EOP does their review. And it's step-step sequential. You will get multiple correspondences back and forth for you if you're missing items along those lines. It's a very, very, very clean process. And as she indicated also, I can't stress enough that you should take time, have folks get those essays, have folks review for you, because they actually do read them and come down sometimes to those essays and how they are definitely a strong part of the application. You'll be surprised in the interview that Kyla might reference an essay that you took an hour or two to write, and that's a lot. So it might seem thing, but I would recommend that you pay special attention to those parts, since the other parts are just simply filling in boxes. That's where I gets to know you and why you should be able to EOP family student class.
We've got questions, and I will remind everybody here on the Q&A screen, we've got some contact information that's really important, because if you have specific questions about your application or information that you provided on your SOFI, you're going to want to contact us directly. So please be sure to contact EOP. We have a number here as well as an email address. This is an email that I answer personally. So please be sure to reach out if you have very specific questions about your application. But we have a few more questions here. One indicates that they've completed the SOFI, but they haven't received notifications or requests for sending hard copy documents. So remember that when you complete your SOFI, receive an immediate request for hard copy documents. You'll need to log back into your My Plattsburgh portal 24 hours after completing your online Statement of Family Income form. Those copy documents will then appear in your financial requirements section of your applicant page. It'll take a couple of weeks before we start emailing you and you know, kind of requesting that information, but we try not to inundate applicants with too many requests for information. So be sure if you've completed your online SOFI that you log back into your My Plattsburgh account right away, because you'll see the list of hard copy document requirements in the financial requirements section of your My Plattsburgh account. So if you've done an application in November, December, or early January and you haven't heard, what I would strongly advise is that you contact either the admissions office or EOP so we can check the status of your application. Yes, call us. Please don't hesitate to reach out. Again, call or email. We can tell you the status of your application. If you email us, be sure to provide your full name. I also want to include perhaps a date of birth or your high school information, a home address, just so that we can be sure to provide accurate information to you about your application. So that's a question. Another question here about, campus life and how is Plattsburgh different from New York City? Maybe that's a question that Estelle and Troy can answer for you.
Okay, so Plattsburgh really emphasizes on diversity a lot. So pretty diverse campus as well. We have people from upstate, we have people from down the city, even people from Binghamton, they come. So with student life, it honestly, like parents always used to tell me that it depends on who you surround yourself with. So you make the best of your situation regardless of like who is around. So my best friend is up here. We're always having fun, and pretty much surround yourself around good vibes. I know that. So surround yourself around good vibes, and you will always have a fun time wherever you go, honestly speaking. And especially if you get accepted through EOP, that's an immediate friend circle. I'm telling you all.
Well, I'm not. Plattsburgh is not New York City, but she indicated indicated, the campus is very diverse, and there's a large population of students from New York City. So you definitely, once you're on campus, you're not going to feel like you're out of place. And Plattsburgh, the way I look, it gives you the opportunity to grow and experience different, not only outside campus, but on campus. The opportunities for students to get involved and challenge ideas and thought processes that are taking place. You have the opportunities to attain leadership positions on campus and to actually help to change on campus. Something for everybody to do between clubs and organizations, fraternity and sorority life. There's always something on campus taking place. There are events taking place around campus. We're relatively close to two large cities, Burlington, Vermont, Montreal, Canada. They're both within an hour's drive of the SUNY Plaza campus. So if you're feeling the itch for the big city feel, you can definitely take advantage of that with an hour going to campus. You will never be looking for anything to do, and you always find something to do, and you will definitely find your place here. And you'll be surprised in years how you will have changed and grown from the SUNY Plattsburgh EOP experience, especially.
I actually hold trips going to Burton and Montreal, depending on the time of the semester.
And you know, we have a huge number of international students. We have so there's really students here from all over the world. And that's pretty remarkable. It definitely affects, I think, the quality of our campus life and that growth factor that you were talking about, Troy, for sure. So I think those are key elements of our campus life here. And that there's just, you know, if there's something here that you'd like to see that you don't see, you know, clubs, organizations, for example, Plattsburgh supports growth in those areas. So we have, you know, new clubs forming all the time and new organizations, you know, two new fraternal organizations coming to campus, one of which is a D9 organization, and another Hispanic fraternity is coming to campus. So there's growth all over the campus in terms of opportunities and organizations that meet students' needs and that the opportunities that students really have. So we're fortunate in that regard. So please continue to ask any questions that you have. I'll give you a couple more minutes to ask any questions that you have. You know, type those in. I'll just remind you again, please use the contact information on this final screen. We want to hear from you. We want to help you to complete applications. Please be persistent in contacting us. Don't hesitate to ask questions. There's no question too small or too large for us to answer. We really do want to help applicants to complete the application process. So we want to be sure that you know what your current status is. So you give us a call if you're not sure where you are in your application process for EOP.
There's definitely a positive indicator for your application, because you have to reach out and engage the office. That definitely speaks to who you are and what you're hoping to achieve once you get out.
Put on the ball, man. I sent the application. I was like, look, my application is there.
Yeah.
I sent my email, my essay. I was like, look, was that this? I sent it like 2 days before this month.
We have another question. So another question related to transportation, and the question is, how is it not having a car in Plattsburgh? Does it hinder your experience?
No. Those so it's an open campus, so it's not like one building does everything. So this CC, which is the Angel College Center, and then there's like extremities like Hawkins, and then Sibley, that's either from. But then there's a new service that runs Monday through Monday. is legit. It runs every day except when the weather gets inclement, and even they just sit down earlier, and it takes to the mall, which the mall has a Victoria's Secret. It has movie theaters. It has a food court, and on top of that, we have Walmart up here, and there's a strip, like, you know what I'm talking about. There's a strip has restaurants and all that stuff, and the shuttle makes stops to all those places. So honestly speaking, having a car does not really, not having it doesn't really hinder it, but having it wouldn't, it wouldn't really matter. I know you will get upset, shovel out your cars. That would only be the thing, but honestly speaking, that's pretty much it. But to go home, that's it's an iffy little thing because we do want to go home, but it's still far. So either way, you have to plan, and we still get vacation buses. So honestly, having a car, I don't have a car, and I'm still here. So
I didn't have a car for my 4 years here.
Yeah.
It didn't affect my experience. As you indicated, we have a service that is free of cost to you that runs around the clock essentially. I think it goes to 11 p.m. at night. You get to any place in Plattsburgh that is a commercial in every 10 minutes, so it's not nothing too far away. The shuttle goes to the mall, Walmart, pharmacies, all places that you might think that you need to go to take advantage of. There are vacation buses that's SA sponsored, so they're subsidized, so they'll be cheaper than usual. Greyhound and Track. This really tries to accommodate not only all students in terms of just feeling comfortable on campus, and that way they can enjoy Plattsburgh in general.
As since we are upstate, we have amazing scenery, and that office actually provides us with free bicycles that we can rent out during the day and return them at any time until midnight. So if you want to hop on the shuttle, just catch a bike, go downtown real quick. I always bike into the beach. So
I would check yourself too. When you think of Plattsburgh, New York, you've probably been to the Catskills, and you think you've seen New York State and the mountains. That is not New York State. There's a lot of New York State than New York City and the Catskills. It is beautiful around that region, and there are places that might just change your life. Folks have come up here from New York City and other studies. Now they're in Colorado doing ski patrol and ski rescue. So I would take challenge and embrace something different, and you'll be surprised at the many opportunities that the doors might open.
And we've got another question here about the SOFI. These are great SOFI questions. So this question is relatively specific, asking about total wages for the SOFI. Do you mean after or before tax? So we're really looking for before tax wages, and that information should come from a tax return, and you'll be submitting tax returns and tax transcripts. So we'll be able to assess the income information that we need from those documents. But if you're just doing the initial SOFI and trying to indicate total wages for the year for an individual in your household, you can go ahead and start with total pre-tax or the adjusted gross income. They are, business-related expenses being deducted and things like that. If you have very specific questions, please feel free to call our financial aid office. We have a liaison in financial aid who reviews EOP financial documents specifically and can give you tailored information regarding your circumstances. That's a great question. I also wanted to just share with all of you that we have some EOP students at Plattsburgh and alumni doing some really amazing things. And that ranges from studying abroad to national student exchange to internships. I got 3 students right now down at the Washington Internship Institute who are working in remarkable places. We have students in New York State, all over the country, and all over the world studying, learning, getting advanced degrees. We have students who are alumni who are working in the state of New York, California, Florida, all over the country, and again, around the world. I think what's really critical for you to know about EOP is that, again, we're really focused on student success. We want students to have phenomenal experiences while they're here. We wish them to get outside of their comfort zones and think about opportunities that they might not otherwise think about, and to access graduate school, post-college work. We want our students employed, getting advanced degrees, and we're really focused on that in our services to students. So, one of the benefits of EOP certainly is all of the additional workshops and supports that we provide to make sure that students are doing more than just going to classes and getting grades, which is important, but we also want students to engage, to participate in applied learning experiences so that they're marketable for graduate school and employment. So we're thinking well beyond college with all EOP students, and we're really striving for placement rates to high, in jobs and in graduate school programs. We want students to have lifelong success, not just success in college. So it's a holistic kind of a perspective about our students. We do have a question here about other benefits that EOP has to offer. And we'll share with you that there are financial benefits associated with EOP. SUNY Plattsburgh, beyond the academic support and all of the career and personal development support, we do provide an EOP book stipend every semester, and we provide an EOP grant. Those two items are kind of guaranteed at Plattsburgh. In addition, freshman year, freshman students receive an institutional scholarship. EOP sophomores also receive an institutional scholarship. So the book stipend, I'll give you just some general amounts that represent this year's financial support from EOP. The EOP book stipend is $400 per semester or $800 per year. Grants range, they depend on class level, but I would say on average, students are getting at least $400 to $600 per semester from the EOP grant. Freshmen are receiving an additional $875 per semester from the college, and sophomores are getting an additional $500 per year from the college. We do some additional EOP-specific scholarships that we give out each year. We're coming up to 5 EOP-specific scholarship opportunities that are available. Our office and those range from $250 to $1,500. So there is certainly financial support from EOP. The financial support does not mean that students can go to college debt-free. So most EOP students are taking out some educational loans, if not all of their educational loans that are made available through federal financial aid. It certainly does help to make sure students don't have bills that are outstanding and still need to be paid after all of the financial aid has been applied. So those are a few additional benefits that we offer that are financially specific. And the cost of books is real, so that book check is really vital, and the grants are also really important. So for asking about benefits. Additional questions from our audience, and there's no silly questions. You can ask us anything that's on your mind. If you think of things after tonight's presentation, or you have very personal or specific questions, don't hesitate to call us or to email. I really mean that. We want to help you complete your application. To pose final questions that you might have. Well, those are the end of the questions from our audience. I want to thank you all so much for joining us tonight and being part of our WebEx. Thank you to Troy and Edsel for your information. And please reach out to us if you have any questions about your application. We want to make sure to give you, some personal attention if you're not sure where your application is and what your status is right now. So hopefully see some of these participants tomorrow via phone or email. Check on your status. I look forward to helping you get to the finish line with your applications. So again, thank you so much for joining us, and peace and love from SUNY Plattsburgh's EOP.
Imagine what you can accomplish.
That's right. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.